She thought human warriors were a fairy tale until her father fixed her marriage with one. Kierra had grown up listening to tales of Earth and its legendary warriors. Stories told of their unmatched courage, cunning tactics, and fierce loyalty to their comrades. Yet, in the quiet, star-strewn halls of her homeworld, Aranthia, such tales felt distant, almost mythical. Humans were rare visitors in her part of the galaxy, and those who did venture this far were traders, not warriors. Her father, High Chancellor Voren, ruled with a careful balance of wisdom and authority. His primary concern was the fragile alliance between the species of their sector. When the Galactic Council proposed a union between Aranthia and Earth, he saw it as an opportunity to strengthen ties and ensure peace. Kierra was less enthusiastic. "You can't be serious, father," she protested, her voice echoing in the vast chamber. Voren's eyes softened as he looked at his only daughter. "Kierra, this is more than just politics. This alliance could prevent future conflicts." "By marrying me off to a human," she retorted, pacing the marble floor. "It's a strategic move," he explained. "And perhaps, you will find this human not as alien as you imagine." Days later, the human envoy arrived. Kierra, cloaked in traditional Aranthian robes, stood beside her father as the delegation entered the Grand Hall. At the forefront was Commander Aidan Marlowe, the man she was promised to. He was tall, with piercing blue eyes that seemed to analyze every detail of his surroundings. His presence was commanding, yet there was an undeniable warmth in his gaze when it met hers. Their first meeting was formal, with pleasantries exchanged under the watchful eyes of dignitaries. But as the days passed, Kierra found herself drawn to Aidan's stories of Earth, of battles fought and won, of the camaraderie that defined his people. He, in turn, was fascinated by Aranthian culture, eager to learn about their traditions and values. Despite their growing understanding, the shadow of their arranged marriage loomed. Kierra struggled with the idea of a union based on political necessity rather than personal choice. Aidan, sensing her inner turmoil, approached her one evening under the twin moons of Aranthia. "I know this isn't what you wanted," he said gently, his voice barely above a whisper. She looked up at him, her expression a mix of frustration and vulnerability. "It's not about you, Aidan. It's about being a pawn in a game I never asked to play." He nodded, understanding. "I didn't ask for this either. But perhaps, together, we can turn this into something more than a mere arrangement." Their conversations grew deeper, moving from superficial topics to matters of the heart. Kierra began to see Aidan not just as a warrior, but as a man with dreams, fears, and a profound sense of duty. Aidan, too, discovered layers to Kierra he hadn't anticipated: her intelligence, her compassion, and her fierce independence. As the date of their union approached, tensions within the Galactic Council threatened to unravel the very alliance their marriage was meant to solidify. A rogue faction opposed to human involvement in their sector plotted to sabotage the union. Kierra and Aidan found themselves at the center of a political storm, their relationship tested by forces beyond their control. In the midst of this chaos, Kierra realized that the tales she once dismissed held a kernel of truth. The human warrior standing beside her was indeed a figure of legend, not because of his prowess in battle, but because of his unwavering commitment to peace and justice. Together, they faced the challenges head-on, forging a bond that transcended the boundaries of their respective worlds. As they stood on the brink of their new journey, Kierra couldn't help but feel a spark of hope. The path ahead was uncertain, but with Aidan by her side, she believed they could navigate the complexities of their union and the turbulent galaxy that awaited them. Their marriage, though arranged, became a symbol of unity, a beacon of hope for those watching with skeptical eyes across the galaxy. The ceremony was a grand affair, blending the traditions of Aranthia and Earth into a harmonious celebration. Delegates from countless worlds gathered, their presence a testament to the importance of this alliance. Kierra, adorned in shimmering fabrics that caught the light of the twin moons, stood at Aidan's side. The ancient Aranthian rites were performed, their words weaving a spell of binding between them. Then came the human vows, simple yet profound, promising partnership and support. As they exchanged rings, a hush fell over the assembly, a collective breath held in anticipation of what this union might mean. In the days that followed, Kierra and Aidan faced the daunting task of governing together. They were not merely husband and wife, they were diplomats, representatives of two great civilizations. Their every move was scrutinized, every decision weighed for its impact on the fragile peace. They traveled to Earth, where Kierra marveled at the planet's diversity and resilience. She walked through bustling cities, their architecture a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Aidan introduced her to Earth's culture, its art, and its history, hoping to bridge the gap between their worlds. Meanwhile, on Aranthia, Aidan immersed himself in the intricacies of Kierra's homeland. He learned about their customs, their ways of governance, and the deep spiritual connection they had with their environment. It wasn't easy. There were moments of cultural misunderstanding and frustration. But each challenge they faced together brought them closer. The rogue faction that opposed their union did not rest. They saw the marriage as a threat to their autonomy, a symbol of human dominance. Their sabotage attempts became bolder, culminating in a direct attack on the newlyweds during a diplomatic mission. Kierra and Aidan narrowly escaped, their lives saved by a combination of Aidan's combat skills and Kierra's quick thinking. This brush with death galvanized their resolve. They could no longer afford to be reactive. They had to take the fight to those who sought to tear them apart. Kierra proposed a risky strategy, infiltrating the rogue faction to understand their motives and dismantle their operations from within. Aidan agreed, albeit reluctantly, aware of the dangers but trusting Kierra's instincts. Together, they planned an elaborate ruse. Aidan would fake his capture, and Kierra would pose as a disillusioned diplomat willing to betray the alliance. The plan was fraught with risk, relying on their ability to deceive seasoned militants. Yet, they knew it was their best chance at lasting peace. The infiltration proved more complex than anticipated. The faction was deeply rooted, its members driven by grievances dating back decades. Kierra and Aidan uncovered layers of corruption and injustice that had festered under the surface of their seemingly utopian sector. It wasn't just about human involvement. It was about power, control, and a longing for independence. In their undercover roles, Kierra and Aidan's bond deepened. They had to trust each other implicitly, knowing a single misstep could cost them their lives. The dangers they faced sharpened their understanding of one another, their love growing in the crucible of conflict. The climax came during a secret assembly of the rogue faction's leaders. Kierra, under the guise of delivering valuable intel, was poised to expose their plot. Aidan, playing the part of the subdued captive, was ready to spring into action. At the crucial moment, they revealed their true identities, catching the leaders off guard. A battle ensued, one that tested every ounce of their courage and skill. Kierra, though not a warrior, held her ground, using her diplomatic training to outmaneuver the faction's attempts at negotiation. Aidan fought with the precision of a seasoned commander, his movements a blur as he protected Kierra and neutralized threats. When the dust settled, the rogue faction was dismantled, its leaders captured. The alliance stood stronger, its foundations reinforced by the courage and unity displayed by Kierra and Aidan. Their daring act had not only thwarted a rebellion but also exposed the deeper issues plaguing their sector, prompting reforms that addressed the root causes of discontent. Their victory was celebrated across the galaxy, their story becoming the new legend told around hearths and in council chambers. Kierra, once a skeptic of human warriors, now stood as a testament to the power of unity and understanding. Aidan, the human warrior of fairy tales, was no longer just a myth but a living symbol of hope. Together, they continued to navigate the complexities of their roles, knowing that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges. But with each step, they grew stronger, their partnership a beacon guiding their people toward a future where peace was not just a dream but a reality crafted by their hands. Their story, though begun in the binding of an arranged marriage, had blossomed into a saga of love, courage, and the unwavering belief in the possibility of harmony among the stars. As Kierra and Aidan settled into their roles as leaders and symbols of unity, an unexpected twist emerged from the shadows of their victory. Reports began to surface of strange occurrences along the outer reaches of their sector, entire colonies vanishing without a trace, communications disrupted, and remnants of ancient technology unearthed where no one had ventured for millennia. The Galactic Council, already fragile after the recent turmoil, grew anxious. Some whispered of an ancient threat returning, a menace from the time before recorded history. Others dismissed it as the remnants of the rogue faction's desperation. Kierra and Aidan, however, felt the weight of these rumors. They knew they couldn't dismiss the fear that crept into the hearts of their people. One evening, as they reviewed reports from the border colonies, a peculiar message arrived. It was encrypted in an archaic language, one that predated both Aranthian and human civilizations. The message, once decoded, was chilling. The Sentinels have awakened. The Watchers will return. Kierra's heart sank. The Sentinels were a myth, ancient guardians said to have vanished long before the rise of modern civilizations. Legends spoke of their immense power, their role as protectors and destroyers of balance in the galaxy. But myths and legends were becoming reality at an alarming rate in their lives. Determined to uncover the truth, Kierra and Aidan assembled a team of scholars, historians, and scientists from across the galaxy. They needed to trace the origins of the Sentinels, to understand whether this threat was real or a manipulation by unseen forces. Their search took them to the deepest archives of Aranthia, to Earth's most ancient relics, and to forgotten worlds that held the secrets of a time when the galaxy was young. As they delved deeper, they discovered a shocking revelation. The Sentinels were not merely protectors. They were a failsafe created by an advanced civilization long extinct, designed to maintain order in the galaxy by any means necessary. If they deemed a civilization too dangerous or disruptive, they would wipe it out without hesitation. The message they received was not just a warning, it was a countdown. The Sentinels had reactivated, and their judgment would soon fall upon the galaxy. The urgency of their mission became clear. They had to find a way to either stop the Sentinels or convince them that the galaxy's civilizations could coexist without annihilation. Tensions escalated as factions within the Galactic Council argued over how to respond. Some advocated for immediate military action, despite the Sentinels' legendary invulnerability. Others called for negotiation, believing that understanding the Sentinels' programming might offer a peaceful resolution. Amidst this chaos, trust began to fracture once more. Kierra and Aidan found themselves at odds with powerful figures who saw the resurgence of the Sentinels as an opportunity to seize control or settle old grudges. They were accused of fabricating the threat to solidify their power, their credibility questioned at every turn. Amid this political strife, a chilling discovery was made. A faction within the council had been in contact with the Sentinels, attempting to use them as a weapon against their rivals. This rogue faction believed they could control the ancient machines, but they underestimated the Sentinels' purpose and power. As Kierra and Aidan raced to expose this treachery, they were met with betrayal from unexpected quarters. Friends turned into foes, alliances crumbled, and the galaxy teetered on the brink of civil war. The Sentinels' approach was no longer the only threat. Internal discord threatened to destroy the very fabric of their unity. In the midst of this chaos, Kierra made a daring proposal. She and Aidan would seek out the Sentinels directly. They would present the case for the galaxy's worth, not as conquerors or destroyers, but as civilizations striving to learn and grow. It was a perilous journey, one fraught with the possibility of death, but it was the only chance to avert disaster. Their journey took them to the heart of a dying star system, where the Sentinels had established their base, a fortress of ancient, gleaming metal suspended in the fiery depths of space. The Sentinels were unlike anything they had imagined, towering constructs of alien design, their forms both awe-inspiring and terrifying. In a desperate plea, Kierra and Aidan stood before the Sentinels, laying bare the galaxy's history, its triumphs and failures, its potential for both destruction and creation. They spoke not only as leaders but as beings who had seen the worst of conflict and the best of unity. The Sentinels, ancient arbiters of balance, listened in silence. The galaxy's fate hung in the balance, teetering between judgment and mercy. Kierra and Aidan's words echoed in the void, a plea for understanding and a chance to prove that their galaxy, flawed and chaotic, was worth saving. Would the Sentinels heed their call? Would the galaxy unite in time, or would internal divisions spell its doom? The answer remained veiled in uncertainty, as the clock ticked toward a decision that would shape the fate of countless worlds. The silence in the Sentinels' fortress was oppressive, stretching on for what felt like eternity. Kierra and Aidan stood in the vast chamber, their hearts pounding as the massive constructs loomed above them. The Sentinels' glowing eyes, pulsing with an eerie light, seemed to pierce through every word they had spoken, weighing their sincerity and truth. Finally, a voice echoed through the chamber, cold, mechanical, and devoid of emotion. "Your plea has been heard. The judgment will be rendered." Kierra clenched her fists, her breath catching in her throat. "We are more than our wars, more than our flaws. We are capable of change. Give us the chance to prove it." Aidan stepped forward, his voice steady despite the tension. We do not seek to destroy or dominate. We seek to build a future where diversity strengthens us, not divides us. Please, let that future begin here. The Sentinels' eyes flickered as if processing the weight of their words. The moments dragged, filled with the tension of uncertainty. Then, the voice returned, this time softer, almost contemplative. The galaxy has been judged before. Civilizations rose and fell under our watch. Yet, we sense something new, a unity born from adversity, a spark of hope. Kierra and Aidan exchanged a quick glance, a glimmer of hope igniting in their eyes. We will observe, the Sentinels continued. You have one cycle to prove your worth, to show that this unity can endure beyond strife and division. Failure will result in the enforcement of balance. Relief mixed with dread washed over Kierra and Aidan. They had bought time, but the challenge was far from over. One cycle, roughly a galactic year, to unite their fractured worlds and prove their civilization's worth to the ancient guardians. As they returned to their ship, the weight of their mission pressed heavily on them. They knew that rallying the galaxy would be no small feat, especially with factions still vying for power and mistrust simmering just below the surface. Back on Aranthia, they convened an emergency session of the Galactic Council. Every leader, from the most powerful empires to the smallest colonies, was present or tuned in via holographic projection. Kierra stood at the center, her voice commanding yet pleading. We stand at the brink of annihilation, not by an external force alone, but by our own hands. The Sentinels have given us a chance, a single cycle to prove that we can rise above our differences, that our unity is not a facade but a foundation for peace. The room erupted in murmurs and debates, distrust evident in many faces. Aidan stepped forward, his presence as a warrior lending gravity to his words. We don't have the luxury of time or division. If we fail to work together, we doom ourselves. Let this be a call to action, a chance to redefine what it means to be a galactic civilization. Slowly, the room quieted as the weight of their words sank in. Skepticism lingered, but the reality of the Sentinels' ultimatum was undeniable. The Council began to formulate a plan, one that would require unprecedented cooperation and sacrifice. Kierra and Aidan traveled tirelessly from world to world, mediating disputes, fostering alliances, and rallying support. They faced countless obstacles, deep-seated grudges, power struggles, and even sabotage attempts by those who still sought to exploit the situation for personal gain. One of the most formidable challenges came from within their ranks. An influential leader, Councillor Varek of the Titanus Confederacy, harbored ambitions of controlling the galaxy himself. He believed the only way to prove worth to the Sentinels was through domination and the eradication of weaker civilizations. Varek's faction grew in power, spreading propaganda that unity was a weakness, and only strength would earn the Sentinels' respect. Kierra and Aidan knew they had to confront Varek head-on, but doing so without sparking a civil war was a delicate task. In a bold move, Kierra called for a public debate between herself and Varek, to be broadcast across the galaxy. It was a risk, but she believed in the power of truth and transparency. The debate was intense, each argument met with counterarguments, but Kierra's passion for unity and Aidan's testament to the strength of diverse alliances began to sway public opinion. When Varek attempted to undermine the debate by staging a coup during a critical moment, it backfired spectacularly. His treachery was exposed, and the galaxy, watching in real time, turned against him. Varek's own allies abandoned him, and he was swiftly arrested and brought to trial. With Varek's threat neutralized, the galaxy began to unite more earnestly. Kierra and Aidan's relentless efforts bore fruit as cultures shared knowledge, resources, and strength in ways never seen before. As the cycle drew to a close, the Sentinels reappeared, their decision imminent. The galaxy held its breath, awaiting the verdict that would determine their fate. The Sentinel's voice echoed once more. We have observed. You have shown potential for balance, for growth beyond your conflict. The cycle continues, and so shall you. But remember, we will always watch. The galaxy erupted in relief and celebration. Kierra and Aidan, though exhausted, shared a quiet moment, knowing their journey was far from over but confident in the strength they had built together. As the celebration spread across the galaxy, Kierra and Aidan couldn't shake the feeling that the Sentinels' warning lingered like a shadow over their victory. The phrase, "we will always watch," echoed in their minds, a reminder that their peace was conditional, their survival an ongoing test. Their next step was to solidify the fragile alliances forged in the face of the Sentinels' ultimatum. The unity they had achieved was a temporary victory, but the underlying issues of inequality, mistrust, and ambition still threatened to unravel the delicate fabric they had woven. Kierra proposed the formation of a unified council, an entity where every civilization, regardless of size or power, had a voice. This council would serve not only as a governing body but also as a mediator for disputes, a repository of shared knowledge, and a symbol of their collective resolve. Aidan took charge of creating a defensive accord, ensuring that all civilizations contributed to a mutual defense pact. It wasn't about building a galactic army to prepare for war but about creating a network of protection, ensuring that no single civilization could dominate others, and that all were protected against external threats, including potential future encounters with the Sentinels. However, their efforts soon faced a new threat, a mysterious resurgence of ancient technology in the hands of rogue elements. Scattered reports indicated that remnants of the Sentinels' technology had been discovered and were being reverse-engineered by opportunistic factions looking to gain an edge. One particular faction, the Eclipse Syndicate, had already begun wielding this ancient technology to devastating effect. They operated from the fringes of known space, striking with precision and disappearing before any retaliation could be mounted. Their leader, an enigmatic figure known only as Varek, claimed to have unlocked secrets that even the Sentinels had kept hidden. The Syndicate's attacks were not just random acts of terror, they were calculated strikes aimed at destabilizing the newly formed alliances. Their goal was clear: to weaken the unity Kierra and Aidan had worked so hard to build and to seize power in the ensuing chaos. Kierra and Aidan realized they had no choice but to confront this new threat head-on. They needed to uncover the Syndicate's base of operations, dismantle their network, and prevent them from exploiting the ancient technology further. Their investigation led them to a desolate moon on the outskirts of the galaxy, a place shrouded in mystery and forgotten by most civilizations. It was said to be the resting place of a Sentinel outpost, abandoned long before the rise of current civilizations. It was there that they believed Varek had established his stronghold. With a hand-picked team of the most trusted allies from various worlds, Kierra and Aidan embarked on their most dangerous mission yet. The journey was perilous, navigating through regions of space littered with ancient traps and anomalies left behind by the Sentinels. As they neared the desolate moon, their ship was ambushed by Syndicate forces. Aidan, ever the strategist, quickly devised a countermeasure, leading their team into the moon's treacherous surface while evading pursuit. The terrain was harsh, the atmosphere barely breathable, but they pressed on, driven by the stakes at hand. Inside the crumbling ruins of the Sentinel outpost, they discovered Varek's operation in full swing. Massive machines hummed with a life of their own, and fragments of Sentinel technology were integrated into the Syndicate's weaponry and infrastructure. The sight was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Varek, when finally confronted, revealed his plan: to harness the power of the Sentinels not to destroy civilizations, but to control them. He believed the galaxy could only thrive under a single unchallenged ruler, one who wielded the ultimate power to enforce peace through fear. Kierra's heart pounded as she realized the depth of Varek's ambition and the danger it posed. Aidan's mind raced with strategies, knowing that direct confrontation with the Syndicate's forces would be near impossible given their technological advantage. In a daring move, they used the outpost's ancient systems against Varek, triggering an automated response from the dormant Sentinel technology. As the machines began to reawaken, chaos erupted within the Syndicate's ranks. Kierra and Aidan led their team deeper into the complex, targeting the heart of Varek's operations. In the final confrontation, Varek, armed with a modified Sentinel weapon, faced Kierra and Aidan. The battle was fierce, the air crackling with energy as ancient technology clashed with the resolve of those fighting for freedom and unity. In a climactic moment, Aidan managed to disarm Varek while Kierra activated the Sentinel systems to contain the ancient technology. Varek, realizing his defeat, made a desperate attempt to escape but was caught in the collapsing ruins as the outpost began to implode. With the Syndicate's defeat, Kierra and Aidan emerged from the ruins, battered but victorious. The message was clear: the ancient technology was too dangerous to be left in the hands of any one faction. It needed to be secured and studied responsibly, under the watchful eyes of the unified council. The battle against the Eclipse Syndicate had shown them that their fight for unity was far from over. The galaxy still held many secrets, many dangers lurking in the shadows. But it had also proven the strength of their resolve, the power of their alliance, and the indomitable spirit of those who believed in a future where diversity was a strength, not a weakness. As Kierra and Aidan looked up at the stars, they knew their journey was only just beginning. The galaxy had given them another chance, and they were determined to seize it, to build a future where unity and peace could thrive, even under the watchful eyes of the Sentinels. With the Eclipse Syndicate dismantled and Varek's dangerous ambitions thwarted, Kierra and Aidan returned to Aranthia, their triumph a beacon of hope for the galaxy. The victory against such a formidable foe had solidified the resolve of the unified council, proving that their unity could withstand even the most insidious threats. News of their success spread rapidly, and celebrations erupted across countless worlds. The people of the galaxy, who had lived under the shadow of fear and division for so long, now saw a future where cooperation and mutual respect could lead to lasting peace. The bonds forged in adversity grew stronger, and the vision of a truly united galaxy began to take shape. Kierra stood before the unified council, her voice filled with pride and hope. "We have faced the darkness and emerged into the light. The challenges we overcame were not just victories of strength, but triumphs of unity and trust. This is the path forward, a path we walk together." Aidan, by her side, added, "The strength of our alliance lies in the diversity of our people. Each world, each culture, brings something unique and invaluable to our collective future. Let this be the foundation upon which we build, a future where every voice is heard, every civilization thrives, and peace is our legacy." The council chamber erupted in applause, a symbol of the collective determination to uphold the ideals they had fought so hard to protect. The unified council's first decree was to establish the Galactic Academy, a center for learning and collaboration, where knowledge from all corners of the galaxy could be shared and preserved. It would be a testament to their commitment to peace, progress, and the shared destiny of all sentient beings. As the Academy flourished, so too did the bonds between worlds. Trade routes reopened, cultural exchanges blossomed, and scientific advancements accelerated, bringing benefits to even the most remote colonies. The once fractured galaxy began to heal, each day bringing new opportunities for growth and understanding. Kierra and Aidan continued to lead, not as rulers, but as guardians of this newfound unity. They traveled extensively, visiting worlds both large and small, ensuring that no one felt left behind. Their presence inspired trust and reinforced the message that every world mattered in the grand tapestry of the galaxy. One evening, as they stood on the balcony of the Grand Council building, overlooking a sky filled with stars, Kierra turned to Aidan, a smile playing on her lips. "We've come so far, haven't we?" Aidan nodded, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "And there's still so much more to do. But for the first time in a long time, I believe we can do it. Together." They shared a quiet moment, the weight of their journey lifting as they embraced the peace they had fought to secure. The stars above them shone brighter, as if acknowledging the hope that now burned in the hearts of billions. Years passed, and the galaxy continued to thrive. The threat of the Sentinels, though always present, became a distant memory, a reminder of what could be lost if they ever faltered. But with each passing day, the bonds of unity grew stronger, the future brighter. In the end, Kierra and Aidan's legacy was not one of war and conflict but of peace and cooperation. Their story became a legend, a testament to the power of unity and the belief that even the most disparate beings could come together to create a future worth fighting for. And so, under the watchful eyes of the Sentinels and the vast expanse of the cosmos, the galaxy entered a new era. An era of hope, unity, and enduring peace, where every star in the sky shone as a symbol of what could be achieved when they stood together, stronger than ever before.